I left when she told me he made her feel alive. I didn't argue. I didn't ask for details. I didn't bring up all the memories we'd shared. I just stood there, took a deep breath, and said, "Then I hope he gives you everything you're searching for." And then I walked away. Not because I didn't care, God knows I did, but because trying to convince someone to stay when they've already pictured a life without you is one of the slowest, most painful ways to fall apart. If you've ever been replaced by someone who only knows the version of your partner you helped shape, I see you. Hit the like button. And if this story echoes the ache in your chest, leave a comment. You're not the only one going through it. You're really not. My name is Daniel. I spent nearly 6 years loving a woman named Brooke. We met quietly through a friend at a dinner party. We laughed over shared slices of pizza. What started small, steady, easy, grew into something that felt like home. Brooke was full of warmth and wild edges, impulsive, kind, full of life. I was the balance, grounded, responsible. I remembered to lock the doors, pay the bills, keep the lights on. We didn't work because we were the same. We worked because we chose each other every day until one day she stopped choosing me. It began with her new job. She became a marketing lead at a tech startup. Longer hours, unfamiliar faces, weekend work retreats. And then there was Jason. At first, she called him her boss. Eventually, the way she said his name changed. It was lighter, carried a spark, like she wasn't aware I was still listening. Asked her about him once, gently. She brushed it off, said I was overthinking, told me she was just excited about this new chapter. But she stopped holding my hand during drives. She stopped waiting up at night. And then, one evening, she sat across from me at the kitchen table, the one we'd found together at that little thrift store, and said something I still hear like it's carved into my bones. He makes me feel alive. Like I had drained the life from her. Like I was something to escape, not return to. I didn't yell. I didn't beg. I just looked at her, the way someone does when they realize a chapter has ended, even if they weren't ready to put the book down. I finally saw it clearly. She was already gone. So I slipped out without making a scene. Just me, a backpack, and whatever pride I had left. The first week was rough. Sleep barely came. I stayed in a motel nearly an hour from the city, lying on a stiff mattress, staring at the ceiling, running through every mistake I could think of. Friends reached out. I let the calls go unanswered. My mom called too. I told her work had me swamped. I wasn't ready to say it out loud yet. She chose someone else. I ended up in a modest apartment a couple towns over. Just a bed, a coffee table, and a version of me I didn't recognize yet. I picked up a job at a small hardware store. When the owner asked why I was looking, I just said I needed to keep busy. He didn't press. I had the feeling he'd seen people like me before, quiet, broken in ways that don't show on the outside. The nights were hardest. Not because I longed for Brooke, but because I missed the idea of who I believed she was. That's the part no one prepares you for. You're not mourning the person. You're mourning the illusion you held onto, the version that loved you right, the version who would have stayed.
I didn't reach out.
Didn't look her up online, didn't ask about her through mutual friends. I deleted her number, not out of anger, but because I didn't trust what hearing her voice would do to me. By month 6, breathing came easier. I painted the walls, adopted a dog from the shelter, named her Penny. She didn't fix me, but she gave me a reason to wake up, to come home. By month 9, I had coffee with someone new. It didn't go anywhere, but I didn't mention Brooke. And that felt like progress. By month 11, her name didn't sting anymore. I was slowly, quietly putting myself back together. Then she showed up. It was a Thursday. I'd just come home from work, still covered in sawdust, sweat, juggling grocery bags. I was unlocking the door when I heard her voice, one I hadn't heard in nearly a year. Daniel. I turned around. There she was, Brooke. Same face but changed. Not in how she looked, but in how she carried herself. Smaller somehow, worn down by the weight of her own choices. Her eyes were puffy. She held a letter in one hand. I didn't say a word. Just waited. "I've been looking for you," she said. I nodded.
Well.
"You found me." She extended the letter. I didn't reach for it. It's everything I never said, she said, voice cracking. Everything I should have told you before I let it all fall apart. I leaned back against the doorframe, still quiet. Then she started crying. I lied about Jason, about everything. I thought I wanted more. But more turned out to be empty.
He didn't want me.
Not really. Just the chase. When things got real, he disappeared. She wiped her eyes. I ruined us. I know that. And I'm not here to ask for anything. I needed you to know that the only time I ever felt truly alive was with you. And I destroyed it. For a moment, something familiar twisted in my chest. The old ache. The part of me that used to believe in second chances. The part that would have let her in, made tea, talked through it. But that version of me was long gone. I looked at her, this woman I once thought I'd marry, and said, "You didn't destroy us, Brooke. You destroyed yourself." She lowered her gaze. "I'm sorry," she whispered. I gave a small nod. "I hope you find healing." "I mean that. But I'm not yours anymore." She wept harder. I didn't move. That wasn't my role now. She left the way I had nearly a year ago, quietly. Inside, I put down the groceries and sat on the floor beside Penny. My chest ached, not because I wanted her back, but because that last fragile thread between us had finally snapped. And in its place, there was stillness.
Peace.
If someone says they found something better than what you built with them, let them. Don't run.
Don't plead. Just walk away.
Because with time and some luck, you'll find something stronger than answers. You'll find yourself.